Hello, I'm Ardia Setiawan, and I'm student representative for the IISMA Maastricht University, and I'm from Universitas Indonesia, Faculty of Law.
So why did you apply for IISMA program?
So IISMA application period was on the perfect time. I was having a lot of hard times in my fourth semester, and I think I need something to unwind myself and try to align my focus for the future and try to recognize myself better. And I also think going exchange abroad was always something that I dreamed of since I was little, and it was very difficult for us for me and my family to afford going abroad just for studying, and IISMA gave me the chance, a rare chance, and also maybe it was like a help for me to gaining something new and gaining something that I could never dream, that I could never imagine.
But going abroad in the middle of pandemic is not an easy thing to do. Master University got its own scheme for students to learn. It's called the problem-based learning, and we need to read hundreds of pages every week just for 2 courses. Being a good student is not enough. You need to be a great one. You need to have it all. And it's very challenging for me for the most part, but eventually I got used to it after maybe a month, and also taking some breaks and taking some trips around the Europe. It's also amazing for me that I also found people with the same concerns with me, even far away from home. With my fellow awardees, I also feel the supportive environment that I needed to grow myself. I felt like I grew old really fast in a good way here, just because I have the freedom to choose what I want to do every day without any constraints, and it really
Jadi pas
shapes
aku
me
diantar
on
sama
how I could weigh whether something is good for me or not. I also met a lot of people who didn't follow the conventional way to have a career path. I met a lot of people who went around the globe for 5 years before they felt the need to go to the uni, or I also found people who worked 10 years after their high school and they started to think about uni and they become a lecturer and all sorts of things that are not conventional and sometimes kind of weird to have in Indonesia, but they are very proud and they are very understanding of what people have in their life, and the no judgment approach is very heartwarming. Strangely, after living here, I always have the urge to be more grateful for what I have back in Indonesia. I just realized that I take things for granted, just as simple as good food, cheap transportation, and what I could have as a family and friends. It also affected me to see things in a more objective way and seeing things that are not really black or white. It just makes me realize that there are also things to improve here and things to improve in Indonesia, just as simple as how people get their life sorted out. Going back to Indonesia, I
cek
would really
diskusi gitu
love
loh.
to still did what I did here with my study, with how I connect with everyone around me, with my society, and maybe became a more meaningful person. After this, I'll show you the place I love the most.
So what do you do in your free time in Maastricht?
Usually, I would just ride a bike around the city or just taking some rest in front of the promenade of the river, and we have the Maas River here. It's very calming, and with the scenery and with all the pigeons and doves that are flying nearby, I was loving it here really. And yeah, Maastricht is one of its kind.
Lastly, I am IISMA biased because it took a lot of magnitude in my whole life. Thus, I could say you should be bold to go abroad.